What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, and you're tuning into another edition of my vlog. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for supporting. You know I'm all about that positivity and that motivation. Make sure you go check out the link in the description. Get you a motivation shirt or inspiration shirt and represent. And I just want to say that if you have an out, take that out, man. And that out could be a way out the hood, a way out the gang, a way out of a bad relationship, just a way out of a situation that's not very healthy in your life. You know, a lot of times people stay in relationships because they feel that the kid compels them to have to work it out, and really you're doing a kid an injustice by staying in a relationship because the kid is seeing everything that's going on. So the fake love, the acting like you guys care about each other is really not doing any good for either one of you. So you should just move on with your life and find happiness, because life is too short to be miserable or worry about, you know, what's going to be the outcome of the child. The child is going to be all right regardless if both of you guys support the kid, give them the mentoring they need, the love they need, the nurturing. You know, the child's going to figure it out. But for you to pretend to want to be a couple and you sleep in the same bed but you can't stand each other, you maybe have sex once a month, you go out to all these different functions and you pretend that it's all good, but in all actuality, neither one of you are happy. I just don't understand it. There's hundreds of millions of women in the world, hundreds of millions of men. Why are you wasting your time? Oh, I don't want to pay child support. I don't want to pay alimony. So what? It's just money, man. You know, I mean, it's a peace of mind. You don't want to give up the house. I mean, God, is that the end of the world, giving up the house? Go buy another house. You know, enjoy life, man. But to sit there for 10, 20, 30 years and be involved in something that you're not enjoying, it doesn't make sense to me, man. It's like being in a restricted halfway house situation on the street, and it doesn't make sense. You know, it's too many little things. You got to just think about what really puts a smile on your face. And you know, you're talking about you have high blood pressure and all these different issues, and then you talk about your spouse or your girlfriend. It all leads to that. You know, your cancer, your diabetes and all that, man. It's all because of your relationship. So if need be, man, terminate that thing and move on. You know, quit carrying around the burden of feeling like you're compelled to be involved in this relationship because of a child, or because of, you know, what people will think, man. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes people grow apart. You know, people change. You know, you don't evolve together. It's just life. You know, people are too death do us part. It doesn't mean no. If you don't see things the way I see them, you know, 5 years from now, if you don't advance and grow as I grow, then hey, see you later, man. It's just life. I'm not gonna pretend. It's not worth it, man. And I don't expect the person I'm with to pretend. You know, I don't expect my wife to pretend if I'm not advancing, and I'm not gonna stop advancing. So, you know, life is all about moving forward. And so, you know, why be unhappy? And then you have, you know, people who have the opportunity to, you know, get out of a gang situation, maybe by moving, you know, getting a job in another city. Hey, take advantage of that, man. You know, take advantage of the opportunity to expose yourself to something new. A lot of times we get involved in these different cliques and hoods and gangs by default. You know, maybe your uncle was involved in it, maybe your brother, maybe your cousin, you know, maybe your dad. But in all actuality, man, where is it gonna get you? I mean, is to is looking forward to going to the pen the best future you can see yourself having? Do you not want to be able to travel and go to the beach and really enjoy the better things life has to offer? I mean, it doesn't make sense, man. To hang out in an area where you have to look over your shoulder. You're claiming something and you don't own nothing there. You're not building your community. People don't feel safe there. So what's the point? If you are really trying to build up the community through whatever gang activity and all this stuff, you make sure that everybody there was safe. There was no robberies. There, wasn't being drugs, wasn't being sold on your street corners, so that people would be healthy and productive. You'd be doing a whole 360. But that's not the case. A lot of people, they pride themselves on committing mischief and mayhem and think it's something cool, like it's a badge of honor. And it's not. And I'm not trying to preach, people always say, oh, you're a failed bank robber, and now you're trying to tell us what. I'm not trying to tell you shit, man. I'm just sharing. Because if I would have had somebody lacing me up, if the homies at the park, these OGs who have been to the pen with 22-inch arms, benching 400 or 500 pounds with wave caps, perms, and jerry curls, selling drugs, they would have told me, man, get your little black ass out of here, man. You need to go back to school. I see you riding that skateboard. Go practice your skateboard. Try to do something else. This ain't for you out here. The pen ain't nothing, man. This is what happens in the pen, blah, blah, blah. And they would have kept pounding my head with that, man, I would have been, man, I'm cool. But they didn't. They embraced me. I became the little homie, the little youngster out there. And it made me feel important. It made me feel like I was a part of something, because I wasn't a part of anything else. I didn't know where else I fit in, so fitting in on the streets was a natural thing. It just, it attracted me. And it wasn't like I didn't have good morals or values. My family, they taught me well. I wasn't one of those people who were just, straight knucklehead, but I seen something in the streets that felt like, I could build a reputation from. I felt like it was something that gave me value, but it was a false sense of value. It was a bamboozle. It wasn't what I thought it was, being a gangster, wanting to be like, a mafia guy, a John Gotti, balling, putting down moves and doing all this stuff, fantasy stuff I read, stuff I read in these different books. And it just wasn't all it was cracked out to be, man. So I had to learn the hard way. And I did all this time. I did over a decade between juvenile hall, CYA, federal prison. And, I felt it's my duty now to get out here and share this information with those who haven't been to jail, so that they can avoid making the same mistakes, man. Avoid the pitfalls, avoid the trick bags, because the penitentiary is a trick. There ain't nothing in there of value. Ain't nothing there that you should want to participate in or entertain. You don't want to go there to have to get tattoos and drink Pruno and sip on mud and all this stuff, man. That's some straight garbage, man. And anybody who endorses that is garbage. And they didn't have nothing going on the street. They were probably homeless, to tell you the truth. So going to the pen for them was an upgrade. But if you have an out, man, take your out, man. Whatever it is. I didn't have that, that person kind of giving me that insight, to kind of give me direction. I wish I would have had it, man. I graduated high school and all that, but, when you graduate, then, okay, it's time for you to move on. And that's kind of like the impression I was under. So I felt like I had nowhere to go. So I went back to the same dumb stuff that I was doing when I was in high school. And it took me years to learn a hard lesson, man. So, like I said, if you have an out, take that out, man. And, I know it's a rough time when you're at an adolescent age and you're trying to find your way, you're trying to be that guy and feel that you're important. And hopefully, watching this channel And watching Fresh Out, you learn some things that will kind of take you in another direction, man. Because I hate seeing my youth and just people in general making mistakes, man, that lead to such hardship and just a downward spiral. There's no need for it, man. Not with all the opportunities we have out here and all the information, man. We just got to share and basically network among each other so that we could make the right choices, whether it's a relationship that's all bad, whether it's hanging out in the hood, whether it's hanging out with some guys who are, just negative. There's an out. If you have to move to a whole nother state, get away, man. But take the time to look at your life and realize you're not limited and that you can do something positive and be productive in society. Big Herc 916.